Jack.
Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet. Lakers driven by your Southern California Honda dealers, Chris McGee, Robert Ory, James Worthy, Mike Bresnan. Allie's going to join us. You're going to hear from Brez in a moment. Lakers get their first win of the year. It was entertaining. It was fun. A young Memphis team led by John Morant. He is a special talent. But tonight is about Carmelo Anthony and the Lakers getting their first W.
Man, Carmelo came out tonight aggressive. He's one of those type of guys. We always call certain guys microwaves. Let's be honest. This guy is a walking microwave, too. He came out. He's been shooting the ball extremely well from three. What I like best is the guys started looking for him. And that's what you got to do. Sometimes when guys are up in the league and have a lot of stature as AD and LeBron, they kind of say, okay, I'm going to do my thing. But they say, whoa, who's that guy? The Big Four.
Big Four.
Carmelo Anthony.
Before you guys go, we're going to go out to Staples. Carmelo Anthony is with Mike Trudell.
All right, Carmelo Anthony, 28 points tonight. Lakers needed every single one of them. What did it mean for you guys to just get that first win and have your role in this one?
Man, we know it's going to be tough, especially early on in this part of the season, man. We told each other before the game that we're going to have to take this one. We're going to have to fight and get this one. But sometimes you got to go win games like this to try to find some or start some momentum. And I thought we did a great job of just playing the game tonight. You know, we had some lulls in the game tonight, but for the most part, we did what we had to do to win the basketball game, and that's all that counts.
You've been getting buckets since you were a little kid. What does it mean for you to now be ninth on the all-time scoring list, surpassing Moses Malone?
And again, it's an honor. It's a blessing. I'm still doing it. You know, 19 years in, man, and you know I'm still passionate about the game. I'm still passionate about my craft. My teammates, they uplift me every single day. I'm just happy to be here, man, and it's third game, so, you know, hopefully there's many more to come.
I know you're a historian of the game of basketball. When you see your name up there, right, on those type of lists and players like Moses and who's to come next, what does that make you reflect upon?
The grind is worth it. The journey is worth it. I'm from where tomorrow's on promise, so, you know, I got to enjoy every moment. And again, I'm just happy we got the win tonight, so that's the most important.
Appreciate it, Melo. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Carmelo Anthony was the star of the night. He passes Moses Malone for 9th all-time on the scoring list. 28 points, 10 of 15 from the field, 6 of 8 from three. His plus-minus was plus 19. And one thing that I appreciated, I had not heard Staples Center like that since March of 2020, and it felt good. It was so much fun. And Carmelo, when he got cooking there, Big Game James, in that game, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And the Laker fans, you know, we've been waiting for a player like that who comes in and provides the three. Hitting 2 or 3 consecutive shots really got the crowd going when they needed it. So, I mean, this guy, 19 years in, they tried to write him off a few years ago, and he ended up in Portland, where he shot almost 39% or something like that for them.
40. Yep.
40%. Yep, and he's still hungry for a championship. You know, when guys get older, 2 things happen. They either they started, you know, fading out, they're going to retire, or they realize that, hey, I got about 3 years left. Get yourself in good shape, get your mind ready. And he does one thing that's needed in this league. He still can shoot. He still knows how to get his shot off, catch and shoot. He knows how to bump into you, get that chest and shoulder to the chest and get his shot off. And when he's hot, he's exciting to watch.
Yeah, James, I love the fact that the ball does not stay with him very long. He gets the ball, either passes it right away or shoots it up. And by the way, Keith, how much time do we spend during the offseason asking the same question 100 different ways? Did the Lakers add enough shooters to make this team successful? They were 53% from three-point range tonight. They were a top 10 team behind the arc coming into tonight's game. It's very early, but so far the answer for that is yes. And Carmelo, a big reason why, like you guys have said, 6 of 8 from three-point range. By the way, LeBron, he's been jamming his threes. Another 4 tonight out of 9 attempts. He's had a pretty good run behind the arc as well.
I want to say this, best offensive night for this Laker team so far this season. 29 assists, the 3-ball guys, 16 of 30, 53%, 6 players in double figures, and the bench with 48 points.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the good things. They're chipping away at, you know, trying to understand where they are on the floor and not think so much. Nice dime right there. Monk came in, did a good job. Of course, we can look at some other categories where maybe they didn't do as well, where they, points in the paint. They had that in the first half, but then Memphis was able to come back. But I think overall, the categories that you talked about, they did a pretty good job there.
They overcame a lot. And to me, this was a really weird game. And if you look at it, every Memphis starter was a plus. Every Lakers starter was a minus. But the Lakers bench came through. Not just, Carmelo and Monk. Monk came out, knocked some big free throws down, played some good defensive role, had some assists on the fast break. So, you're going to have those nights where the starters are starters, but it's up to the bench to step up and do a little bit more. Yeah,
2 games ago against Golden State, by the way, the Laker bench thoroughly outplayed. Remember, Bielitsa and Damian Lee from the Warriors reserve unit really outplayed the backups for the Lakers. Completely different story tonight. Carmelo leading the way there.
Make no mistake about it, it is a work in progress. This was not a perfect night, as you guys were mentioning. They did have 12 blocks and 10 steals, but they were out-rebounded by 13. Memphis had 18 offensive boards that led to 32 second-chance points. But the Lakers do get the W. We do have this sequence at the end of the game. This is crazy. Coming out of a timeout, and there was a big game of chess going on. Were they going to foul up 3? Some clutch free throws made by Malik Monk, then AD. Ja Morant gets the ball. There's, 6-7 seconds left in the game. Baze looks like he's going to go in for the reach. Ja goes up for the shot. Definitely a foul. There it is right there, Rob.
Yeah, right there. You see the reach in with the left hand. And you might not think these refs going to call that, but down the stretch, you can let the players play the game. But right here, clearly a foul. No, Baze didn't think so, but it was a foul.
So big game. He had made the first 2, and right as he was in rhythm to shoot that one, Rob saw a little hitch, and he said he tricked it.
It's hard.
It was off.
It's hard to hit 3 free throws in a row. A coach will tell you, take 2. Step back for a couple seconds, then come back to it. It's more of your routine because nowadays, with the three-point shot, it's normal. But, yeah, he couldn't get that third one in.
We were laughing but before we came on the air. The guy who misses the 3 is the guy who had 40 points.
Right.
And 10 assists. It was 9 of 10 going into that free throw from the free throw line until that miss. He was 5 of 7. Ja Morant is a special talent. I know he's going to be thinking about that one for a long time, Brez, but what a game that young man had.
Yeah, you said it earlier. You said it was just a fun game all around. Staples Center, maybe part relief, part excitement. They finally got a win for the crowd tonight. And, yeah, Ja Morant. This kid is on the path to stardom. I brought the question before the show. He was drafted 2nd behind Zion a couple years ago. Maybe if you do that draft today, he goes 1st. Zion just can't stay on the court. When he is on the court, he's pretty dominant. Definitely got some work defensively to do, but Ja Morant seems like the complete package. This team probably will be in the playoffs. I know they made it last year as a play-in candidate, but this feels like a top 8 team after watching them top to bottom today.
You know what this feels like to me, though? The way Ja Morant is playing. I know my son is saying this, he might be an MVP. Oof. Because if Derrick Rose played in Chicago and got Rookie of the Year, this is exactly what Ja is doing. And I've always said, okay, Ja's a talent, but when you see him play all the time,
I just don't know if the team's good enough yet, but he is.
Yes.
He's turning into an all-star before our very eyes. He is one. Yeah. I don't know if he makes it because it's hard to make it in the Western Conference as a guard, but he is an all-star in my opinion. Yeah, he's there. James has already arrived.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. He's putting up big numbers, and he goes into opponents' arenas, and he has attitude. This guy has an attitude to go along with his talent, and he's not going to be denied. He'll go in amongst the giants. He's very acrobatic, tough. So he's got a strong possibility to be an all-star. We'll see.
All those characteristics, Brez. You add that athleticism, the toughness, but he's also got a style to his game that make people love him and want to watch him play.
His story arc kind of reminds me of Damian Lillard. Small college, Murray State. Not a lot of people got to see him on a national perspective, but scouts knew right away this kid's going to be something special. He was fun to watch in the NCAA tournament, and now here he is, Memphis, in a massive rebuild the last few years. Gone is Mike Conley, Marc Gasol, all the good defensive-minded guys they had in there during the Grindhouse era. Completely different look for this team. It's a fun look, too. This team can score. They got shooters, not a ton of depth. So that's the one thing they're lacking.
Magic had a tweet in our last show That kind of got a nice conversation going about the Dwight and AD thing that happened during the second quarter. We has a tweet as well tonight talking about Carmelo Anthony leading the way for the Los Angeles Lakers. And that's exactly what happened. Magic's tweet, Carmelo Anthony leading the way for the Los Angeles Lakers. I do want to get your guys' take on Russ and where you stand on his night. At 13 points, 5 of 15, 1 for 4 from 3, so he did hit his first 3. 13 assists, 7 rebounds, but he also had the 9 turnovers. But he has these hustle plays, and he's out there, he's giving you everything he has. Rob, James, and Brez. But the stint he had in the second quarter, where he goes 9 straight points and 5 assists, that's the Russ where you can really see the way he can impact his team.
Yeah, that's like James said, he's trending up. So think about when you watch him play. He plays with tenacity like no other. He's still playing hard, and sometimes he plays faster than his other guys, and that's why he has a couple of turnovers. I think in this game, like 3 or 4 turnovers, I wouldn't give him because he had the one tip ball that goes through LeBron's hand. He got the rebound, then he lost. He got fouled down the stretch. So when I look at those 9 turnovers, I'm only going to give him 6 in my mind. But the guy plays so hard, and he looks for everybody on the break. And you can see in that first half, people were keeping up with him. People were getting in the position to score, and that was keeping their hands ready, especially DJ. DJ was a recipient of a lot of his assists, and, of course, those points in the paint were big in the first half. And in the second half, you didn't see that much. That's why Memphis was able to catch up with the Lakers and pass them the points in the paint.
Yeah, you're starting to see what he brings to the table, right? That first game, only his third triple single in his NBA career when he played more than 35 points. Second game, better. I think tonight was a very good game for him. Like you said, Rob, some of the turnovers, not really his fault. Still trying to get used to his teammates. And more importantly, they have to get used to his speed, James. This guy, I'll take him in a 40-yard dash against any other guy who's drafted just a couple months ago, a teenage kid or just out of college or whatever. Still one of the fastest guys. His teammates definitely have to try to figure him out as well.
We do have a John Morant tweet that I believe we are going to show. John Morant, what a game. Failure builds character.
Did you tweet that quickly after
I was about to say the same thing.
By the way, that's actually late. Oh, yeah, guys are. No, guys are tweeting. That's the first thing they do now. You knew that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, go check. First thing they do before they get shot.
Well, I think he's wrong there because he didn't fail.
He didn't fail.
It's not a failure. I mean, missing a free throw is not a failure.
But that's why I think people love him.
Yeah.
He puts it on his shoulders. That's what leaders do.
2-point victory for the Lakers. Frank Vogel spoke with the media a short while ago.
The crunch time offense down the stretch. This was your first crunch time game. You went with a lot of Russ, LeBron, kind of 1-3 inverted pick and roll. What kind of did you like about that? And Russ finding AD out for that dunk and just kind of using him as a roller and the things he could do going downhill.
Yeah, it's just something we've been talking about a lot in our meetings and trying to incorporate it into practice. And I think late game, that's something that we like when they have an elite guard, that's not going to switch on to Bron. We can get that situation. We got that one bucket. We also had a miscue where, we were double cutting and, just turned it over in the paint. But definitely a situation we like.
Go ahead, Dan.
Frank, we've talked a lot about team defense and kind of how individual defense sort of relates to that. Anthony made some kind of otherworldly individual defensive plays tonight. How important do you think of a factor that was for you guys in getting this win?
Well, it was huge. We won by 3. It was, obviously a tight game down the stretch. Every possession matters, and he came out of nowhere with some of those blocks, and that's why he's one of the best defensive players in the world. And that's why we've got a winning culture because of our commitment on that end of the ball. We still need to be a lot better, but he was outstanding with some of those plays.
Frank, just wondered if you saw anything with the aggression towards the rim in the first quarter and how important that was, and then as things went on, and you saw any additional style things that you guys can carry forward.
Yeah, well, obviously, we're playing a bigger lineup, so there's less space to get to the basket, but we were still getting good looks there, and we're just encouraging our commitment to attack the rim, and just to slow down a little bit and concentrate on our finishes. We missed a lot of bunnies the other night, and we want to make sure we're attacking the paint first, playing inside-out basketball second, and concentrating on our finishes, and we were much better tonight.
Frank, you've told us since the beginning of training camp that you were encouraging Carmelo Anthony to do what he does. What did he do for you guys tonight? And not just the shots that he made, but his presence, how does it allow the rest of the offense to function?
Well, he was outstanding tonight, and congrats to Melo. I mean, 9th all time. I mean, that's unbelievable. And yes, he went to Syracuse. Okay. But my Kentucky Wildcats beat Syracuse in 1996 in the championship. If you want to start calling out Syracuse. Carmelo Anthony was awesome tonight. He didn't crawl up to that milestone. He blew the doors off of it. And, I'm super happy for him. He's been a great culture fit with our group. And obviously really playing at a high level on the floor. He's got a lot left in the tank. And, he's really going to help us this year.
Frank, you were obviously going to win a game at some point. You're going to win presumably many more. But did it feel bigger than just a win, just the relief of getting a game, executing down the stretch, and kind of maybe some catharsis just with, obviously winless preseason and the way the first 2 games went?
Yeah, we weren't paying much thought into the preseason. Obviously you want to win those games, but it's really about getting work in for your guys and managing minutes and all those types of things. So, but not losing your first 2 home games didn't sit well with our group. Came out very motivated tonight. And, we've got a lot of belief in who we can be this year, but we also have a lot of work to do. And we had a very, very productive film session yesterday, cleaned a lot of things up, got on the same page with a lot of things. And, the effort was much better tonight. The attention to detail was much better tonight. And that's how we're going to have to improve, and gel, because it's not going to be with a lot of practice time. We're going to have to do it with the mental approach. And we've had a lot of success with that the last couple of years here. So we got to keep that going, and it's great to get our first win.
Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Anthony Davis get their first win together. AD with 20.
All right, Kent Bazemore, it's so early, and yet it seemed like you guys just really wanted to get that win in the books, man. What did it take to pull this one out tonight?
Obviously, we're still believing, and yesterday we had a very, very good mental day. A couple hours of some film and just open dialogue about trying to get on the same page, and implemented some of it tonight, and just gutted it out. Winning isn't easy in this league, and this is our first one, so it feels really good to get a win in this league, especially against a very good young team, a team that finished in the 8th seed last year, won a game against the 1 seed in the playoffs, so a lot of experience with them coming back, and tough group. We got it done.
All right, so coming down the stretch, you guys are protecting the lead. You were intentionally fouling for a little bit, and then on the job play, couldn't tell from the replay. You got your hand on him. But what were you looking for there, and what did you see?
Just trying to keep him in front. Definitely a learning lesson. We teach the foul in certain situations, and kind of got caught in between. So definitely learning experience for me moving forward, and it's a lot of pressure. Making 3 free throws. I mean, don't too many guys practice 3 free throws at a time. So got away with it, but we'll take it how we can get them.
All right, hey, I wanted to ask you about Carmelo Anthony and just his effort off the bench tonight, the scoring, and obviously passing Moses Malone for 9th on the list. But how important was he tonight?
I mean, I played against him, been teammates with him. It's just an amazing story. From when he first busted on the scene as a freshman at Syracuse to, fast forward, I don't know how many years it's been, but just a consummate pro that continues to put in the work, continues to put in the effort, and has this aura about him that it's contagious. And when he gets it going, he lights his place up, and it was good to see a couple of them going for him tonight, and looking forward for more to come.
Baze, appreciate the time, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Kent Bazemore.
Next up, we'll look.
How are you seeing that evolve this year and fitting with the rest of the roster?
Earlier today, just watching the Packers and learning the defensive schemes that Jair Alexander do, and just trying to mimic that. Be able to get the deflection, and then the pick got 2 feet in, but like I said, I fumbled the ball and went out of bounds, whatever. So. That's how I'm doing it. That's how I'm doing it.
Since it's Sunday, I guess we'll excuse the NFL references. AD, just what did you think of the different rotations tonight, and then how Melo fit into how some of those second unit lineups were having success against Memphis?
Melo played his ass off. I mean, he shot the ball extremely well. I think it was like 6 for 8 from 3. he comes in and give us a spark. And our entire bench did. Malik came in, played well. Austin had some hustle plays. We just got to continue to, play with a sense of urgency. I think we did. Tonight we had, some possessions where we got, caught off guard and they made some plays. Ja got hot, but we had a little bit of problem with offensive rebounding. But for the most part, I think we played extremely well. And was able to come out with the win.
Hey, you guys got a lot of players with names all over the record books, but there's the saying in sports, you're only as good as your last game. So what does it mean to have Carmelo make a stamp in his 19th season with this team for you guys?
It means a lot. I've always been a fan of his, what he's able to do. Obviously to do it with a franchise, like the Lakers, probably huge for him. But to come in and do what he's doing in the 19th year and, when a couple years ago, nobody wanted him, he was counted out, he was doubted, and he stayed the course, stayed a professional, got a shot at Portland, made a name for himself again, and then, he's here now and doing the same thing, picking up where he left off. So it's an honor to have him on our team, honor to play, besides him. And Bron and Russ and Doe, White, like all these Hall of Famers, and able to learn so much from them. Besides Bron and Doe and Russ and Dwight and all these guys, he's in my ear the most. Just always, telling me little pointers and little things to help me. So he's been great for us so far, and I know he's gonna be great for us all year.
AD, it's been a long time since you guys have won a basketball game, period, between the preseason and stuff like that. Just how good did it feel for to walk off the floor with a win, and did it feel like any relief or anything after kind of the way the preseason and these first two games had gone?
Well, we don't really look too much into preseason, but we kind of get that monkey off our backs with a win. We going into a road trip, where we feel like we can get both these wins too, and just kind of start going from there. Let this win be a momentum booster for us. These next, 10 games, we take it 10 games at a time, and try to have a winning record out of 10 games. So let this be a momentum booster where we can, keep going and let this guy keep shooting threes. You ready? Oh yeah, they my family looking for me. I'll take one more. Y'all want to talk to him anyway.
Hey, Eddie, this was your first crunch time situation of the season, and I'm curious just what you thought of your guys' execution down the stretch and kind of withstanding everything Ja was throwing at you guys.
Yeah, I think we did a good job. Defensively, we did a good job towards the end, with our coverages. Down the stretch, made our free throws and executed on the offensive end. So I think our execution down the stretch in the late game was pretty good. There's some things that we still can get better at, but for our first time handling that, it was a new team. We executed pretty well.
Carmelo Anthony, 28 points, 10 of 15, 6 of 8 from 3. Also had 2 blocks, and he was plus 19. But the big night for Melo, he passes Moses 9th all-time on the scoring list. He speak with the media.
Congrats on that place.
Thank you.
You came here not to chase individual records, but a team accomplishment. So what was the meaning for you to not just pass Moses Malone, but your points were really meaningful for the team's effort tonight?
Yeah, when you're in a battle like that, like tonight, it's kind of hard to put everything in perspective or even think about it, because the game is so close, so tight, it's attention to detail, so you don't want to try to think about too many things out there on the court at that point, but either making a play, getting a stop, and winning the basketball game. But it is I keep saying this, man, it's an honor, it's a blessing, but to be in that list to pass Moses, to know what Moses did, you know, what he did for the game of basketball. It's hard to put it in words. You know, I'm still here doing it. I think that's what I actually excited about, that I'm here in year 19, still doing what I'm able to do. Still passionate about the game, still passionate about coming to work every day and getting better. And what better night, you know, to reach ninth with a win, the way that we needed a win tonight. So overall, this was a hell of a night.
They give you the game ball on there?
Yeah, they gave me the game ball. They wanted me to make a speech, but it was too tired.
Carmelo, this is really only your second game with the Lakers, if we don't count the preseason games. They've embraced you here, the fans have, and the Lakers also showed that collage of your history of playing in the league. Does that mean much to you to have the fans embrace you the way they did, chant your name, and then to have a record here in LA?
Yeah, I mean, it's when you, again, I haven't really put it all in perspective yet, you know, just coming off this game and trying to decompress from the actual game. I didn't have a chance to think about it all, but, you know, being here in LA and just the way that the fans embrace me, knowing the battles that I've had in here in LA against the Lakers, just over the years. And again, this happening in year 19. And for these fans to embrace me the way that they're doing, that's just, I got to keep going. You know, that keeps me motivated, you know, knowing that I got a supporting cast the way that I have with the fans of Los Angeles.
Melo, you saw what Ja Morant was able to do tonight. I mean, that's a player that's, you know, still elevating, finding his place in the league. You guys have a bunch of guys who are established. What's it like? Kind of, I mean, this is going to feel like it's probably going to be an every night thing, where you're going to see a younger player on the ascent kind of try to give it to you guys. Well, I guess, what's it like kind of being in those fights with guys that are still trying to find their place in the NBA?
We still trying to find our place too. So we expect to be in games like this, you know, especially now, night in and night out. I think the talent level, you know, throughout the NBA has gotten better. Teams has gotten better. You know, teams are playing faster, and you know it's showtime every time teams go up against us, and we understand that, we expect that. Somebody like Ja, you know, he's going to continue to get better. You know, his game will continue to elevate. He is the future of this NBA, and he shows that every single night, what he's able to bring to the game.
Melo, congrats on your milestone. When you look at the history of the other top scorers in the league, which guys influenced your game the most, and in what ways?
Which guys
influenced your game the most, as far as other top scorers? And
well, they all brought something to the game, and you know, was able to be productive at a high level. All of those guys. So anybody that is on that list was spectacular, right? They did something special for the game of basketball. They was able to, you know, do something special out there on the court. Scoring a basketball is not easy. You know, we may make it look easy, but it's not easy. And again, for me, it's, you know, this is 19 years of repetition, and night in and night out, day in and day out, every summer, you know, every season. I'm reaping those benefits right now because of the persistence that I have. And my professionalism, what I bring to the game, how I approach the game, and I want to keep going. That's all that matters to me. Thank you.
Let's talk a little big picture, Carmelo Anthony. Brez, so far this